All right, so what did you do before you started StyleBakery.com?
For many years, I worked in the city at a production company, a television production company, and I left there after about 7 years. It was just kind of time to leave. I wanted to do my own thing. I was thinking about having children, and I left, and a girl that I work with, we decided that we could maybe do something on our own, similar to what we did, and we worked together for about 4 years doing TV production, and then decided to branch off and start StyleBakery.com, an online fashion magazine. We thought there was something out there that needed it. No other magazines did anything like that.
And at what point during that process did you have children?
I had my first child about a year into starting the company, and I lived at home and worked in my basement. And after I had Sam, my son, I realized that I needed kind of a space. I think it's really important if you work from home to designate a place in your house that is for your work, whether it's an armoire or a bedroom if you're lucky enough to have extra space, or a room in the basement. It benefits you in a lot of ways. It will, make you be able to shut your space at night and really concentrate on your family or concentrate on yourself, and at the same time it allows you to have your separate space that you can go to. When my son was young, I tried to teach him knocking on the door, not interrupting. There was one time where he walked in my door and I was on the phone, and he came in with a Home Depot sledgehammer that was vibrating so loud, and I was so embarrassed, and I was on the phone with a client, and she said to me, "Oh, don't worry, I have kids. I work in my satellite office also." So it's very common for a lot of people to have these satellite offices which are working from home.
Terrific. So how do you divide your time?
You know what? Also, again, working from home, it has its, bonuses, and it also has, a lot of cons to it because you're constantly working. I think that I do a lot of work during the day. Now, both of my kids are in school till about 3 o'clock, so I do most of my work during the day, but then at the same time, after they come home, there's those couple of hours where it's homework, carpooling, and craziness, and then later on, I tend to go back upstairs to my computer, and you could be there all night
Right.
when you're at home.
And how does it make you feel just better as a person, as a mother? Do you think it just benefits you all around owning your own business?
I mean, it's definitely, I'm not the type of person that could do nothing. I mean, not at all saying that being a full-time mother is probably the hardest job out there, but I just myself needed more. And I think that I do have a nice balance, but at a lot of times it becomes very challenging to, set boundaries for myself, which is something that I think if you decide to go into the working world, you need to set boundaries, and you also have to make sure your friends and your family set boundaries as well. Meaning that just because you're home working, they can't call you up and say, "Oh, you have to come to this fun thing," because you are working. And when you're working, you're working, and when you're not working, you can set boundaries for yourself if you want to go drive a carpool or want to meet a friend for lunch or do something fun.